Hey, my name's John Becker. I want to take a moment today and introduce you to my background and everything. I'm pretty new to the online social media and YouTube space, so I figured I'd take a moment and give you some details on my background and what I'm trying to accomplish. Initially, I went to school for my bachelor's degree in psychology from San Diego State. I graduated in 2008. I had a hard time finding jobs. I ended up substitute teaching for a few years before going back to school for my master's degree in elementary education in 2012. So I went to Washington State University for that. I got it, and then I taught at private international schools for 6.5 years in China. After that, I kind of got sick of the teaching gig, and I really leaned into my passion for health and fitness, my athletic background, martial arts. A good friend and mentor of mine, she's been in the nutrition space 40 years. So from 2018 on, I've been doing health and fitness consultation. I didn't want to go too far into like my journey in China. It's part of my life and background. I came back to the States in September 2021. Over here, you'll see I've got a bachelor's degree in holistic health sciences. I'm working towards my PhD in natural medicine with Quantum University. I'm originally from Northern California. My my athletic background is in martial arts. I've got a second degree black belt in Kaju Kembo. I've also done some Philippine martial arts and Wing Chun. I do like football, hiking outdoors. I love college basketball. I like that a lot more than NBA. My dad was from Cleveland, so I root for the Cavaliers. Boom, go Cavs. I love to travel. I'm definitely a big like Star Wars and Star Trek fan, but also Lord of the Rings. Boom, I already talked about working towards my natural medicine degree. Here's a few pictures, some highlights from my life in China. This was my first apartment complex here on the left. That was like the department store down the street. And right there, that's me on the Great Wall in 2016. So I've been health and fitness consulting since 2018. I quit my teaching job mid-contract and personal training, health consulting. I dabbled in like trying to build an essential oil network. Discovered wasn't really for me, but I'm still a big fan of essential oils. I did my progressive calisthenics cert. I've done some aromatherapy certifications through the Center of Excellence, and same with these others listed here. The naturopathic nutrition cert, eating psychology. There's this other guy online. I don't remember his name. Has his naturopathic doctorate. He's also done several different certifications with ACE, NASM, other stuff like that. So he has just like a general training he has that he's compiled from major certs. So I did that. Um, yeah. So initially, I focused on a lot of like body weight exercises. I would like meet clients at parks and at their houses. Also, doing my best to help people with nutrition and essential oils. But that's also one of the reasons why I'm doing the natural medicine degree with Quantum University. So I kind of expand my palette of like tools that can help me. I briefly mentioned it. A good friend and mentor of mine, Esther Gilbert. Uh, yeah, I can't do this without giving a shout out to her, holisticchoices.com. She's got 40 years of experience in the field of nutrition. She's been an incredible mentor. Um, I also applied to a couple of European organizations, the Complementary Medical Association and the International Association of Therapists. I also got my board certified holistic health practitioner with the American Association of Drugless Practitioners. Here's a few pictures briefly. Some people I'd worked out with in China and ran my own business for a few years. And that was a lot of fun. But then things happened, COVID and whatnot, and rule changes, and I ended up coming back to America. All right, thank you for your patience. I'm using Loom at the moment, and I've got like 5 minute limits on this. So this is part two of just getting to know me. And here we go, back in America, September 2021. Did a few little bit of odds and ends stuff. So I did Grubhub for 6 months. I had a temp job with UPS in the holiday season. Eventually, I got a job at a gym up here, and I've been there. And, I'm also a certified master personal trainer through the American Sports and Fitness Association. As far as what I like to do with both my training and with clients, I love to use kettlebells, dumbbells, bodyweight calisthenics, and other just ways to get people to move. I know functional is can be like a triggering word because people use and abuse the word functional, and I don't have time to go into that. So I think it's a thing, but I think it's overblown. Um, I think it's fun to like use different types of equipment because different types of equipment, it's like a different language for your body. You have to move differently for kettlebells than you would dumbbells or even kind of like calisthenics. So I feel like in that there's kind of different learning, kind of like kinesthetic and just like moving your body, which is great. But a lot of things go back to the best plan is the one you actually do. What is your focus? That's a good one. My focus is squats, so I'm doing leg press. Oh, this doesn't make sense. But my focus is building my legs, just building the quadriceps, hip flexors, right? Oh, I'm gonna do squats, I'm gonna do leg press, lunges, leg extensions, right? So what's your focus? Um, right there. Feedback from clients, doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors. This is really great. You have a client and a chiropractor says this, hey, let's make adjustments. Same, feedback from doctors and physical therapists. You just had a surgery. The doctor's like, oh, hey, be careful of this. What do I emphasize? I love the idea of mastering movement, trying to get good at the movement, be it like squats, pull ups, could be pull downs, right? Having that focus, like practicing strength as a skill, right? Um, Making small changes along the way, I think it's great. What's your daily, weekly, monthly focus? People, I think, sometimes change too much in the era of muscle confusion. And instead of trying to kind of confuse the body, it's just like, what's a small change, right? Doing one more rep is a small change. Oh, my breathing felt off. Was I breathing out on the eccentric, right? Things like this. Like, otherwise, what's your weakness? The weakness is the great focus. I'm really weak at, I don't know, RDL. Oh, okay. Like, probably should put that like first in the workout. Next point, all rep ranges work when volume is equated from 5 to 30 reps. Um, One person I really love in this space, Dr. Andy Galpin, 20 years of experience in exercise science, and he distills things down to, do 3 to 5 sets of, 5 to 15 reps. It's more complicated than that, but he has like a 6 part series on the Andrew Huberman podcast. And I think he got his own thing. So I don't want to sit here and just like, oh, I'm speaking for this person. Like I'm speaking only for myself. He is just like I love some of his work, but he's not the only one. Otherwise, I like to focus on basic compound multi-joint movement, squat, hinge, push pull, and push pull vertically and horizontally. I already touched on that. What exercises, equipment, and movements are challenging for you? Leaning into the hard stuff. I really suck at this. I should probably practice it. All right, I'm running low on time. Recovery is big, right? The basics: sleep, water, stress, protein. Sauna and steam room is just like super easy, passive. Really just melt the and relax the pain and tension away. Walking, stretching, yoga, Epsom salt, super cheap. Get a little bit of magnesium boost. Here's some basic notes on nutrition and lifestyle. Nothing really amazing here. I think it was like Mind Pump that really phrases this like that. If you get enough like protein and fiber, it's hard to overeat the bad stuff. Okay, the last thing was basic notes on nutrition and lifestyle. Um, the basics exist for a reason. The basics exist for us to master them. There's a lot of like fancy stuff and keto this, carnivore that, a pescatarian, intermittent fasting. Um, like everything works. The best plan is the one you actually do. I don't always agree with everything that Dr. Lane Norton throws out there, but I am a really big fan of his channel and what he does, and like when he points out just like hooey fooey nonsense. Um, so that's great, and it's learning points not only for me but for a lot of people. I think there's probably a lot of coaches out there, myself included. I think you can learn a lot from his channel. Um, and like, well, um, energy in and energy out is a thing. Calories do matter, you know. So when calories are controlled, then I mean, there's not a big difference in that respect when we're talking about weight loss and even other things to intermittent fasting versus a regular deficit. Um, I don't want to go too much on that, but like, yeah, again, there's a lot of different ways that you could kind of get your body into a deficit. You could do the alternate day fasting. You could do like other stuff. Um, you really got to think long term, you know, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose and other health issues. That's why I just continually go back to the basics. Like, you know, just like there's people that lose like 5 pounds in studies just by getting a little bit more sleep. If we get enough sleep and we're hydrated, because when you're hungry, you know, that's similar to being dehydrated. Just these two things, we can potentially lose 5 to 10 pounds just by getting enough sleep, or even just like improving our sleep and drinking water. A big thing people throw out is non-exercise adaptive thermogenesis NEAT. It's a really super duper complicated way that scientists throw out as a way to like, oh, moving your body, that's not exercise at the gym. So sleeping can potentially improve. Oh, I have more energy and I'm just generally kind of moving more because I have more energy. Well, the little stuff adds up. Stress is a big one. Stress, being able to control your stress. Too much cortisol, it's catabolic. It it's not going to be good for your weight loss goals. It's not going to be good for your health. It's going to increase the risk and make a lot of stuff worse. And having, I like the metaphor of like your stress toolkit. Like you have a toolbox and you have all these things. Like walking. It could be like breathing exercises, meditation, or just like calm music, a calming spot, stuff like this. Otherwise, you know, another big influence of mine, Mind Pump. They talk about it all the time. If you nail your protein and you get enough fiber from fruits and vegetables, it's really hard to overeat the bad stuff. And I am all about that. Get enough protein, get enough fiber, eat the fruits, eat the vegetables. I think it's crazy the world we live in where fruit and vegetables are contentious and like I don't know. People don't balloon up to 300 to 400 pounds because they're eating mangoes and salad. Boom! I gotta check the time because I'm using Loom. Okay, I'm almost done on Loom. So yeah, also healthy fats, right? These are again, this is nothing new. It's I go back to the basics because they make a big difference. It's not knowing basics; it's doing the basics. What's the hard thing? What's the easy thing? A lot of people, um, protein, they struggle. They think they're getting enough protein. They're not. Um, I don't have time to get into it, but tracking whacks me out. But I know my protein. I had 45 grams with breakfast, and I had about 60 with lunch. So I'm really good about paying attention to and knowing what my protein is. So thank you. These is like some introduction about me. Thank you for subscribing, and looking forward to getting to know.